or if it's just I'm my imagination. You got Farming Simulator?
I sure do. I have
Farming
22.
Simulator is fun.
I heard the
I like
multiplayer is
doing.
not terrible.
Oh no, it's not terrible. I haven't had any. I mean, I've had problems with it. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not like like a lot of the time. It'll just like work until it doesn't, and then
Gotcha.
it's just like everybody has to do something, and then it just works again.
Yep.
It's
I
a
mean,
lot
we've got
easier
our
than re.
Valheim. Yeah, we've got our Valheim playthrough that we haven't gotten back to yet. I'm not saying we should do that now. I'm just saying. I was
Yeah.
thinking about trying to hit you up earlier in the week,
Hmm.
see if you were busy or
What?
not.
Let's get back on that. Okay. I think I'm losing my mind. I think it's just missing. I don't know. I like doing the challenge where you either start with a truck and a chainsaw
Mhm.
in a one property,
Yep.
um, or I like doing these. You spin the wheel um, of either zero truck or actually, I think when I do the spin the wheel, it's 10,000 through 100,000 and 10,000 intervals, and see how much money I start with. And then, at least on this map, I can actually afford, like, unlike the other kind of wilderness map that you like is like a start over from scratch kind of thing. This place actually has very tiny fields that are actually affordable when you have not too much. I mean, this is the smallest possible land you can purchase. And at a 60% increase, it's 6,400. Have you seen my farm?
No, but that's hilarious that that's a possible business model to own a bunch of farmland, but rent it to people who are actual farmers to farm and try and produce a profit while paying you rent. Isn't that fucked?
Yeah.
Guarantee
I mean,
that's
right.
happening somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, on this thing, yeah, for sure. People loan out their thing for a certain cost or percentage or something. But yeah, this is my farm. This is the plot I started with. I got it because it was kind of centralized. It had a decent amount of land and had some trees, because that's good for starting. I feel like the most challenging, if I was to pick just one land, would be the most difficult. But if it had to be like a more open, empty land, but it
That's
still
easier to
has
deal with.
some more open, empty land,
Yeah,
kind of
less forest,
sucks.
less bog.
It sucks, especially if you don't have any starting money. You'd have to completely rely on the jobs.
Oh, for sure.
And the jobs here suck because they're such tiny fields. I have it on plus 30%, and they're also like almost always under 1,000.
But as long as it's grain, you can very quickly turn it
Actually,
into.
this would be the worst to start off on. It has a good amount of land. It has some trees. It's probably super hilly since it's next to the edge, and it's absolutely freaking ridiculously far from the selling points.
As fair, yeah.
It'd be like, I need to get a closer property as soon as possible. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have this so that I can change my money at any time for when I start, but it
Right,
also
right.
lets me fly when I want to show the place around. I have a field of canola here. I used to have the field go here, but I got sick of this stupid puddle that
Yep,
forms when it rains.
that's right. It
Floods.
drowns everything out. But you
Yeah,
can
I don't know
raise
how any of
the.
my wood is wet.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
yeah,
can
but it would
raise.
also be extremely expensive for a big enough space like right here.
Oh, well, no,
It's
you
like
just want to
part
make
of the
it
map.
big. Yeah, you just want to make it big enough so that it doesn't flood in that small area. Like you kind of want to make a hill in the
Yeah,
middle of it to spread the water out.
yeah. Kind of dealing with it right now though. But I got a big tractor, and then I got a little or a medium tractor with a front loader. Why can't I go down? Help. I
Your
can't go
big
down.
tractor. I know your big tractor
Uh,
reminds me of Jeremy Clarkson's tractor.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know who Jeremy Clarkson is? All right,
No.
it's fine.
This is a. Here's my house. Here's my very starter beginner vegetable garden.
That must have been
There.
maddening. Are these strawberries?
Yeah, these
Mm,
ones are strawberries. Yeah, but it uses only water. It costs $2,000 to place down, and it
yeah,
produces like one of these maybe once a month, and each of them are about 1,000 or less.
which is not bad.
It's not bad,
Um,
especially since it doesn't use much water
right.
and it just produces. These trees are the best investment though. They
Apples?
produce
Oh, for
like
sure.
they produce like 4 of these crates, which are worth 1,000 each a month, and it costs 5,000.
Sounds
The
about
only
right.
thing is that it uses a lot of space, but it is what it is. But you can
I'd live with
also
it.
later on,
Orchard.
get a juicing factory to make apple juice,
Yeah,
which is
that's
like
right.
2,000 to 3,000.
And then cider.
Unfortunately, not.
What?
Um,
There's a missed opportunity there. How do you make a mod for this?
I don't know. I got a grain facility for processing into flour.
Nice.
I have
Grain transport.
that field over there. I just made for the first time, but that's this area.
Oh,
I
looks
gotta
good.
go over here. Right. This is like the cheapest thing I can teleport to, which is why I have it here. It's called a
Seed silo.
distributor. I think you're supposed to have multiple of them around the map, and then you can like input seeds and manure and stuff into them,
Right.
and then you can take it out. But yeah,
So it's a silo. I mean, that's what it looks like.
it's
So
essentially a silo, but it's a production for some reason.
that seems odd.
I have this giant field of oats, which I'm preparing already to. I got this down here. I just need to get my
Right. Get that money.
get the money. I'm probably gonna do as much of this into flour as I can because it'll increase the cost.
Yeah. Processing.
It'll just take a while because I mean
Yeah.
oats are nice in December. They sell for about 1,800 if I stored it for December. But if I went for flour, actually, what the heck? Oats are actually
Bread is
better to be
bad.
sold just as is for the most part, I think. Although maybe this is just a nothing number. Maybe it's different. The storage bay, for some reason, buys stuff on this map for a lot, even
Yeah.
though I only have it on regular.
So typically, those markings that you're seeing is the difference between two levels. Red is usually bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to sell in November, ideally December. January, you're taking a hit. But it's okay. January is still good compared to earlier in the season.
Yeah.
February, you're starting to waste your time. So do you
Yeah.
think you'll have your oats by then?
Well, oats are coming next season. So it's June, so they're coming in July. That's why I'm
So a
thinking
month is a
if I
season.
turn it into flour, because oat turns into more flour than the oats you put in, so you'll
Right.
get more flour out of it.
So if
So
you
I'm
switch
thinking
the
of turning them
flour,
in, and then it gives a few months for the flour to be produced
yeah.
before it gets
So,
sold in December.
but you can actually look for flour right now and see what its prices are like. So yeah, you'd want it all done for December to max it out.
Yeah,
December,
December or
January,
January,
for sure, for
which
sure.
that'll give me. Yeah, I'm going to be harvesting on July,
Right,
so it'll give me about like maybe half of July-ish, and then 1, 2, 3, 4,
right, right,
and then
right.
5 months, and then kind of 6 months for it to process if it doesn't
That's right.
process before that.
No, and I can see how that overlaps. I'm gonna go grab something. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Well, probably time to skip to the next day. I don't have anything else to do. Yep. The only thing I can, I guess, potentially do. What is my productions looking like? Do you need apples? Absolutely not. How about this? Any good nice jobs? Sowing? I hate sowing. You gotta produce your own seeds. Sowing and fertilizing suck.
What the fuck is this? Sleeping?
Yeah, I slept from 9 o'clock yesterday. Almost,
Yeah,
I slept for 23 hours.
that's insane.
All right, my canola will be ready in a few months. I'm gonna turn that into canola oil.
So what do you have to do in the meantime?
Well, it's time to harvest. I'm gonna go get my
Oats? We're hauling oats up?
oats, hauling oats. I need to go get my bucket so that I can
Hauling
transport
oats.
the
It's a
oats,
good band.
and then it'll be seeding. Probably more oats. Oats are the best crop. Gotta love oats.
Are you north, south, east, or west? Middle of the country, so to say.
Huh? In real
Are you
life?
on the East Coast? East Coast, West Coast? Are you Northeast?
I don't know. Lake Michigan.
You're in Michigan? Good. You'd be good
Lake
people.
Michigan.
Same
I'm
difference,
near
bud.
there. I'm in
It's all up
Chicago.
north. You're all up next to us. Okay? You're like more Canadian than you care to realize. That's all that comes down to.
Sometimes I hate that auto leveling building stuff. Because this property I don't own, so I can't change that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I just
So
have
what
that hump
happens?
until I purchase this land.
So what does that mean exactly? Like it auto increases the value of the land?
What? When I level
What?
it? No, when the building is placed, it needs to be flat, so it'll flatten it for you.
Oh, auto level. Okay.
Auto leveling.
As in like kinematic or engineering or civil engineering.
I guess, yes. It'll
Yeah.
physically level the ground.
You ever play Astroneer?
Astroneer.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember why. I think yes. It's the one where you get like the dirt gun that you can go and
Yeah,
then place.
exactly. Suck up the dirt. You completely reform the surface of whatever. There's like weird ass places to go. You can't get all the materials on one earth, so you have to
You have to go to like every single one, and then you have to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
get the
yeah.
gap.
Yeah,
It's so annoying. Me and my brother did that for a
yeah.
while. I
Yeah.
haven't played since the past few updates. But
It's
what's
gotten
annoying isn't he had it only on the Xbox the time we played, so we had
oh,
to actually purchase a server for him to
oh,
play cross console.
brutal.
But now he has a computer, so we could just get it on the computer and it'd probably be cheaper. All right. Time to do
But I'm
some
down for that.
harvesting.
I'm down for that. If that's something that ever tickles your fancy again, I'm down for because like there's enough new shit in there that like I'm not gonna recognize half of it anyways. It's just gonna be a giant learning process.
Here's
So this just
contemplation. I
so this is
think I'm
dumping the
going to
shit
make
on the ground.
this. Huh?
It's just gonna dump the shit on the ground, right?
Well, I can switch it to where either it'll make straw or it'll like froth it. I think I will collect the straw.
Thresh. It'll thresh it.
Let's see. I know that there is a thing. I saw it in here.
It's a
Maybe
combine.
I'm considering either getting a bigger baler.
So you can bale oats into like a bale of hay, but
What?
it's oats.
No, it's straw.
Hmm.
So I can either...
But you want to take the oats out of it, though, right?
No, I already did. That's what this thing is. It's already
So what you're leaving
pre-doing it for me.
behind, is essentially straw.
Yeah,
Mm.
just straw. I'm probably going to have to get this. I want to get the 240 centimeter square bales, because those hold a lot, and I want it.
That's super expensive. Would you save up to just buy that? You couldn't bankrupt yourself.
I will definitely not be. You want to see? Actually, where... You know what? I forgot. I need this.
Just continue with what you were doing.
No.
That's what you needed to do, right?
I'm distracted now.
Ooh.
I can do this anytime. I can stop time if I want.
Ooh.
There, now it's only on 2 times. I'm not even spending that much time. I usually keep it on 5 times. It's time to harvest some apple juice. I just sell that whenever, because it's almost always the same price, only up or down 100 or so.
Sound business decision.
This isn't dangerous.
Oh, not at all.
See, it's fine. I do need to put some more apples on the apple juicer. Collect. Get more juice.
Damn, that's tasty.
You're thirsty. Have some juice.
I certainly am.
Have some juice building. Finish your juice.
Eat the juice building.
Wow, I have a lot of juice in here. It's almost max capacity.
So at what point do you
How dare
sell
you
it?
not finish your juice? I'm going to push this over here for now.
It doesn't go bad. Have to take a pill.
I have auto load trailer because easy.
Mm-hmm. This is so much more convenient than trying to do the shit yourself.
Oh, I accidentally have this thing down the whole time. That's also very safe. I do have to manually load these ones now.
Why is this?
It doesn't reach this far.
Really? Seems like something that can be easily fixed if it's an understood problem. It's what I struggle with the most. I'm like, I know how to fix that. Why isn't it fixed?
Wow, that's a lot of juice.
Isn't it, though? Strap that shit down. Okay, yeah, it's good. Way ahead of it. I understand. Applaud that. Forward thinking.
I have 9,936 liters of apple juice.
9,900?
9,936,000 liters. Look at that.
What do you mean? Look at. Oh, shit. Yeah, 9,936 liters or gallons?
They're technically... Everything's measured in liters in this game for some reason.
Good, good. Europeans know how to do it right.
I made 34,000, more like 37,000 off of
That's
my juice.
fantastic. That was 40K. That's 35K. That's awesome.
And that's just about 1 month of processing.
For a couple of months out of the year, and then the apples stop producing, right? So
Apples
what do you
produce consistently
all the way through the winter?
the whole time. And then I just go
This
and do
isn't
this.
realistic.
It's not.
Yep.
Just like this. Occasionally. I don't have
suspend my disbelief. Guys like lifting a truck and shit. It's nothing, bruh. Let me just shove this over here.
I don't have. I'm living in an area that you can grow anything anytime.
Seems like advantageous, somewhat.
Because it always annoyed me how I couldn't plant something even though I started then.
Mm.
And then
Yeah, just
thus,
run right into it. Pow!
boop. Now I
Does
should probably go drive this back. Actually, it can stay here for
does
now.
that sell it or something?
This makes it so that it can be collected by the thing. This is where you
Ah,
dump it. So it's collecting the apples and turning it into juice. I only really need like 2 or 3 of those orchards. I have 5 of them.
that'll do it.
And all right.
Fixed. Finish it. This is
Trying to
the
done.
most satisfying part of a harvest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What you need is a farmhand running behind you, turning that into bales of hay. So right now, this thing has a giant hopper in it that's filling up full of oat seeds.
Yep.
Okay. So then you need to either take that somewhere or dump it into a hauler.
Yeah,
Right?
I would dump it into. Oh, I missed like the tiny bit. Whatever.
You missed nothing.
Um, I missed. It's important to get everything.
Not
I will
everything.
be back.
Not everything. This is not a perfect perfect experience here. This is I'm doing the best I can on the raggedy friggin' edge. You know, I'm like a strung out farmer trying to make profit off of this land. No? Too much? Not enough?
I don't know. We should do a farming simulator run.
I'm cool with it too. I would love to play that shit. Like, to me, that's the perfect pace. The stakes are low. You know? Like, you can
Yeah.
recover from almost anything.
Yeah.
But you could pawn shop that. You know what I mean? The TV show Pawn Shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Just get
Right now, what I like doing, like I said earlier, but you can't loan, and you have to purchase,
yeah.
and then you
Leasing is a
can't
bit
take a
cheaty. Yeah.
and you can't lease. You can't take a
Yeah.
loan. You can't lease.
No,
You
leasing
can't
is
do any of
cheaty.
that.
No. And that's how they start ultimately everything.
That's what you're supposed to start,
Yeah, yeah.
but no. But I add tons of mods for old equipment.
Don't
That's
do it. You don't need
considerably
it. You don't
cheaper.
need it. You don't need it. You did not need it. That tiny little plant would have been fine.
Probably almost only just like 1 liter, if anything. Um, but yeah, it'd be fun. You can either spin the wheel or just start with the truck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind roughing it for a bit. Like, you got the little work camp, and you're just trying to get a little bit of something to get like $1,000 to buy or something.
Yeah, because I mean, if we spawn with the truck that I have, which is really nice one, or
Yeah,
it's technically the rust bucket version of the nice one, but
right.
it's still like 20,000. The nice one's like 34,000.
It's a huge advantage,
But
though.
yeah, but then there's lots of old tractors. At least the No Man's Land kind of has like a almost cheaty system where the greenhouse um only uses water and produces like 15 pallets that are worth like $4,000. Um, and that's like supposed to be your start, is that you make enough money with lumber, then you buy a water thing, a water jug, and a place to get water, and your greenhouse, and then you start like that. but in this map you don't have that. The closest thing to that you have is those little plots like that I showed you, the little open garden. Which you could technically get a ton of them and then just water them and you'll get a decent amount. They'll pay for themselves within 2 months, but it's just a slow income. But you can have that going alongside you doing the chores of other farmers.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've really had any experience doing. Like somebody needs like a field plowed, and like you have to buy your own equipment to do it, but you go and you plow their
No,
field, and
you
then they
don't.
like pay you.
You could just loan their equipment.
In the version that I played, there was none of that. Like you had to, if you wanted to farm, you were going to build up your own kit. In order to do that, you'd have to buy. You're taking a dump.
Mm.
Where's your loader?
All the
It's down
way
the
over
way.
here.
Yeah, it's easy enough to get to though. You didn't even do one lap, and you're already full.
Yep. This is a big field. I turned 3 properties into a field.
It's gonna be nuts.
I could have gone silage route on this if I really wanted to be hyper efficient.
Who wants
But
to be that?
silage is silage is fun when you first do it, but when you're only doing silage, it gets kind of lame.
Alongside them, so you can empty that shit.
Pour,
Close.
please.
It was close. There
There we
you go.
go.
Nice job.
This is an absolutely massive trailer.
It really is.
I think for some reason it's supposed to be used for potatoes, but for some reason it can collect everything.
That's interesting. So you've already taken almost 60,000 liters of oats. 6,000. I don't know why I was thinking 60,000.
7,500 is 6%.
That's fucked. So you can do the whole field and probably fit the entire thing into that.
Yep.
I need to see this now. Proceed. Can you fire hire Jesus? Can you hire a hand to follow you with that green truck
I'm not
trailer?
entirely sure. I can hire a hand to harvest and then I can follow. I'm not sure
Ah,
about him following me.
yeah, because one of them seems a lot more difficult than the other, from a software standpoint.
I know that it's a thing because I've seen people have their farm hands do it, but I have no
All right.
idea if I have the capability here.
The only time I would have done it is Farm Sim 17.
You ever see Farming Sim
I haven't seen the latest.
2011?
No, I haven't. I would imagine it is not this pretty.
Yeah, for all the DLCs and the game is like $8. I kind of want it just to see how it is in comparison.
You're not gonna like it.
How it evolved from.
No. Just it's never gonna feel natural to you. Like the buttons you
Yeah,
need to
because
push, you're like,
I
this isn't right.
started a little bit on 19 and then switched to 22 pretty quickly. And now I'm going to be going over to 2015 or 2025 rather.
I had about 100 hours on 17, and I've only spent a couple of hours on 22. But it's more the same. There's just more kit, I guess.
Yeah, there's more of it. It looks better. Who the heck is calling me?
Question.
Someone in my D&D chat called. I don't think they meant to because they hung up immediately.
It's great. No, we're playing D&D tomorrow night.
Nah, not
I'll be
anymore.
streaming that.
Oh, you are, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what the campaign is about, but I chose to be, spoiler alert, a necromancer. So basically a wizard interested in the dark arts. And in this particular case, he experimented with a particular spell to try and drop the veil between here and the world of the undead. And when he did that, you're going off the.
I know. I'm trying to do the straw trail
Oh,
so
gotcha.
that I don't like stick it all the way in the grass.
So then, actually, I don't know what the point was at that point. Um, we're just trying to stay hooked into what the current maximum or demographic or whatever it is called.
Mm. Right now, my
And
D&D session with a few people, we're doing a Lord of the Rings thing.
yeah, that's actually a decent idea. Though I'd be surprised if somebody hadn't put together a D&D framework over Lord of the Rings.
Who knows? I think there is some stuff because I
Yeah.
think my friend had to make a good bit of it himself. But have you ever played any of the Lord of the Ring games?
Unfortunately, I did not have the pleasure or take the
Yeah.
time.
My brother was super into, who's also doing the D&D with me. One game in particular that lets you, I think you team up with like a ghost,
Okay, yeah.
um, who eventually betrays you, tries to kill you, leaves you for dead, and then you have to absorb the power of a Narthgal to become one, um,
Yeah.
in order to survive, and then you get like wraith powers. And my friend is letting my brother be that character, and right now he just got um, they did a dice roll fight um, with God, essentially the Grim Reaper, to see if he survives and gets his power or if his character is just dead. Because what's hilarious enough is I'm a dwarf, um, and I crafted out of a king's dining hall table a. Do you know what a grafted sword is?
I do not.
It's essentially a sword made of swords, and it's like a giant hunk of metal with just spikes like all out of it of just more swords. I made one of those out of wood, out of one of the king's um, dining hall tables, while destroying every other table in the process as well, while I was heavily drunk. And I was required to beat him to near death with that weapon. Um, he had 1 HP. He essentially died. Had to fight the Grim Reaper and was.
Right.
They had to do 5 dice rolls, and whoever got it the highest wins and gets the guy's soul or whatever.
Right.
And my brother beat him by 1 point, so it was getting kind of tight
That's correct.
right there
Yeah.
at the last bit. All right, time for a refill.
Oh, you're full already?
I'm full
30,
already.
37%?
I guess I'll go this way.
Can't drive through the field though, right?
No, otherwise
You'll
I'll just
trample it.
destroy a bunch of crop.
Yeah, this is another game that multiplayer would have tickled me for. Because it's just mindless shit, you know? Like you're trying to
Yeah.
put some seed down and like things don't completely line up, and you're like, well, fuck, you know, and then you're trying to figure it out. I feel there's lots of potential for an evolution, you know.
Hmm.
The tracks on this thing, I find that super funny.
Yeah, it was definitely required for getting through the mud.
That's my thing. There's no mud. It's like this packed dirt and like some field, and you're like going along on tank tracks. It's so, and yeah. So, how full was the combine?
Full. So it should be at 15,000.
I couldn't tell. I thought it was at 37%, but maybe it was 97%. I just wasn't looking at it right.
Hmm? It was at 6%, so it should be due 6 each. So this should be 12% about.
I
Yeah.
don't doubt that. I just, when you were selecting the combine, I didn't understand how it was showing it was full. See?
Hmm?
Select the combine, not the trailer. So you're in the
This?
combine right now, right?
Yeah,
That's not a combine.
not combine.
This
This.
is a combine. Yes. So this says 0%. So when you start hoovering stuff up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like eventually it'll go 1%, 2%.
Yes.
Okay. So the last time I looked at it, when you're like, hey, I need to empty this thing, I feel like I looked at it and it said 37%, 37, 37. And you're saying it wasn't, it was full?
It was full.
Oh, so close. Cheating. Oh, rubbed. You rubbed it. Good job.
It's gonna be
You're gonna
interesting
back
going
up, or
through
you?
this with a baler. Wonder how many bales. This map also has a weird thing where like that whole area there is like mining a mineable material.
That
And all
seems
it
weird
really
for a
is,
farming sim.
it is weird. But some people do like doing, there's certain maps where you can have gold processing and you buy land and in the rivers and underneath
Right.
certain diggable terrain, there's gold processing,
Right.
which is interesting. I don't know. Wasn't really planning on doing that on this map, but I just found that over there. I'm like, oh, apparently this map has a mining area. I don't know how to do it, but
That is intriguing. Uh oh.